Need something?
What's up, Doc?
Your psych is in excellent condition. Everything looks good to go.
Great, thanks.
Eating replenishes more than just your stamina. It also helps your psych gauge recover. Since ancient times, military commanders have struggled with the problem of how to secure food for their men. How much soldiers get fed, not to mention how well, has a direct effect on morale. Back when wars were fought between absolute monarchies, the maximum distance an army could travel in a day was limited to the distance from one supply point to the next. The quality of the food is a major factor too. During World War II, American battleships housed vending machines that were stocked with cigarettes, soft drinks, and ice cream. They called them Gedunk bars. The phrase is still used by sailors and even built spaces too small to have their moves on its... This is Rose. How can I help?
I need a psych check.
Your psych is in excellent condition. Everything looks good to go.
Great, thanks.
Speaking of food, Snake,
Colonel, we're in the middle of something here.
have you ever eaten rations from a country other than the U.S.?
Of course I have.
The UN recently held a ration swap meet between military attachés from each member state. It was a momentous development in the cultivation of mutual understanding of other countries' cuisine.
Roy, this isn't really the time.
On the contrary, I want you to hear this too, Rose.
I've already heard it 100...
You'll survive. Anyway, Snake, I did a taste test and found that French rations were generally the best. The Italians weren't bad either. And the Japanese stuff was much better than I expected.
Really? That's wonderful.
But everyone seemed to agree that the worst rations of all were ours. America for the win.
All right. So what's your point?
Yep, it must be nice to live in a country that knows how to cook. Those French rations, délicieux. I wish you could have been there to try some, Snake. And, you too, Rose.
Colonel, what exactly are you...
Some of the best food I'd ever tasted, Rose.
I'm sorry, Snake. Ever since he went to that swap meet, it's all he can talk about. You think he'd never had a decent meal in his life.
No kidding. Wait a minute. Rose, who does the cooking at your house?
Me. Roy doesn't... What are you getting at?
Nothing. Never mind. Colonel? My sympathies.
It's appreciated, Snake.
I actually like those American rations. This is Rose. How can I help?
I need a psych check.
You've got plenty of psych. You should be in good shape to complete the mission.
All right, then.
Snake, you're a smoker, aren't you?
Not this again.
Just hear me out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want someone smoking in front of my kids, of course, but from a stress management perspective, smoking is obviously an effective relaxation measure for people like you. It actually raised your psych, didn't it?
Yeah.
But even so, I'm not going to downplay its effects on your health. Your life gauge actually went down, didn't it? And the smell of tobacco can attract the enemy.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Think carefully before lighting up, Snake. I'll leave it at that.
Snake, are you all right? Snake? Snake!
Rose, something's going on. I've been getting this weird feeling, like I died once already, and it was from a gunshot. Just seeing an enemy carrying a gun has been putting me on edge.
Snake, your decades of experience might be trying to tell you something. Maybe it's a warning that the bullet that will finally kill you is coming when your back is turned. Tell me, what would you do if you saw a teammate engaging in risky behavior? Say, recklessly charging the enemy or letting their mind wander in the middle of a firefight?
I'd tell him not to get himself or me killed.
Well, think of it this way. There's another you inside your subconscious that's telling you the same thing.
I see. Get back to the basics. Use the right stick to look for the enemy. Move cautiously and stay out of sight. I should start listening to my other me.
Exactly. Take care of yourself out there, Snake.
Snake, what's wrong? Answer me, please! Snake! Snake!
Rose, I keep getting these visions of being stabbed to death whenever I see a knife. It's not quite deja vu, but just seeing one of those things gives me a feeling like I'm being stabbed.
I see. It's said that the shorter the physical distance between you and the enemy, the stronger your psychological resistance to violence becomes. It may be that the knife symbolizes close quarters combat, and it's evoking an image of your own death.
So, my subconscious is warning me not to get gutted?
Perhaps. It's only a theory.
Wasn't real high on my to-do list anyway.
I know, Snake. If you encounter an enemy with a knife, watch out. What could you do? Let's see. You could avoid standing directly in front of them, or roll to the side, or step back to avoid a close quarters attack. I know it must sound funny for me to be giving you this kind of advice.
No, it's good advice. I think it's helping.
Contact me anytime. Yes, Snake?
Just here for my checkup.
Your psyche is in excellent condition. Everything looks good to go.
Great, thanks.
Snake, you should be careful about how much weight you're carrying. I'm sure a big, strong guy like you can carry a considerable amount of gear, but the stress of lugging heavy loads around can have a negative effect on your mental state, causing your psych gauge to go down.
But you never know what kind of equipment I'll need handy.
I'm not saying you shouldn't ever carry a lot of gear. I'm just saying it has its drawbacks. That's all. Hello, Snake.
What do you have for me, Rose?
Your psych is looking good right now. Nothing to worry about so far as I can see.
Good.
Snake, the gauge below your life gauge is your psych gauge.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Then you'll hear it again. The psych gauge affects the rate at which your life gauge recovers. In other words, how fast your wounds heal. It also greatly influences how well you perform various actions. When your psych gauge is full, your life recovers quickly and you shouldn't have any problems doing what you need to do. Remember, your body isn't the only thing driving your performance. Your mind is every bit as important.
Hey, I don't let my mental state affect my combat efficiency.
You may think that, Snake, but the truth is, you're not as young as you used to be.
Could have fooled me.
It's your psyche that's keeping you alive inside. So you better take it seriously. Keep a close eye on your psych gauge.
All right.
Snake, these enhanced soldiers seem to be using some sort of device to cling to the walls.
Doesn't look like they have spikes or suction cups.
This is only a guess, but I think their gloves and boots might have some mechanism that employs van der Waals force. It's a type of mutual interaction that occurs between two electrically neutral particles. Geckos use it to crawl up walls and across ceilings.
Oh, that kind of gecko. But those things are a hell of a lot lighter than a human.
Well, around 10 years ago, I read about an experiment where they reportedly suspended an object weighing 100 grams using a 5mm square piece of adhesive tape. Assuming the technology's advanced since then, I don't see why these guys couldn't be climbing all over the walls.
Otacon, what about Vamp? How he ran up that support pillar in the big shell. You think that's how he did it?
You mean, did he have this technology? He could have, yeah.
So it wasn't that he had some freak supernatural powers.
Hey, when technology starts to test the limits of our imagination, what's the difference?
Otacon, doesn't that enhancement suit remind you of anything?
You mean those arm-like extensions? I think we both got a pretty good idea. An offshoot of the battlesuit Solidus wore.
You think the BMBs are connected to him somehow?
I doubt it. But I'll tell you one thing. They're in an entirely different league than the other PMCs. Even at medium range, those arms could deliver a nasty blow. Watch out for them, and keep your distance.
Will do.
That beast seems to laugh at everything.
At this point, no matter what you say to her, she'll only respond one way.
The symptoms resemble those seen in Ganser syndrome. It's a type of dissociative disorder characterized by irrelevant responses to the situation at hand. It often manifests itself in soldiers under extreme battlefield stress.
You mean she's not having a good time out here?
I doubt it. I'm starting to wonder if she might not have some kind of deep-seated psychological trauma. Mimicry is a way of making your opponent see something they're not really seeing. It can be very effective in rendering your opponent psychologically vulnerable. It's easy to think she couldn't possibly be here. Be careful you don't fall into that trap.
Snake!
Otacon, what's wrong? Why are you calling me over there?
Huh? What are you talking about? I didn't say anything.
It was you.
I'm telling you, I didn't call you. This is no time for jokes. You're supposed to be fighting Octopus. Come on!
Hey, Otacon.
通販でお買い物お部屋でのんびりゴージャス気分ときめきアイテムで私の暮らし素敵に飾るよ新作通販でお買い物お部屋でのんびりゴージャス気分ときめきアイテムで私の暮らし素敵に飾るよ
He's here. I can smell him. He's about 50 meters dead ahead.
Well, what's this doing here? Naomi.
Something happened to me last Thursday when I was driving home. I had a couple of miles to go. I looked up and saw a glowing orange object in the sky to the east. It was moving very irregularly. Suddenly, there was intense light all around me. And when I came to, I was home.
It's not over yet.